writes, the proof is in the pudding. Every time it's a black suspect death is usually the end results. A black suspect death is usually the end results. I think I said it, caught it correctly. Keena's directing people on how they can vote. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keena. She voted. Brittany writes, exactly, Nate. Peer pressure and temptation and wanting to fit in is so weird with our young people. Yeah, I mean, you ain't got a gold chain. You ain't got the right kicks. You don't have any money. In some cases, you're looked upon as worthless. You can only pray that the positive seed you plant in your children will grow, not the negative the world plants. I'm telling you, growing up poor in this city is dangerous for the city. Very dangerous. Charles writes, the police do act differently when dealing with blacks. They feel like they have to be more aggressive when dealing with us, especially black men. It's been going on forever. It's a systematic problem. Brent writes, don't place the blame game on his dad in terms of how he was raised. He was 20. Cannot be. Strong flow. What's more important? The money or a person's life? I would say a person's life is much more important. Eric writes, I vote the black man who acted in the Chinese commercial. A real Gilligan of the week, shaking my head. People do anything for money. I think I second that. But again, who knows what this brother's background is? I mean, he's a brother living in China. Okay, saying that's where they made the video. Doesn't have to be. Maybe he's a starving artist or he's trying to get into the acting game and this is what he's got to do to pay the bills. I get it. Charles writes, Troy Ave is an idiot. He was on the brink of becoming a relevant artist. That's dead now. Clear video footage shows him raising and discharging a weapon. And of course, you immediately have people blaming T.I. You can't blame one man for the actions and behavior of another. Right about that. But the thing is that T.I. came to Cincinnati and what happened? His best friend got killed. They had gun battles on the highway on 75. Literally, no hyperbole whatsoever. And from what I remember and was told, T.I. was making it rain. You made it rain. Oh, your rain touched my hand. Some sensitive dudes from Cincinnati. Who he think he is? He's just T.I., internationally known, right? I got money like him. These dudes with their sensitive attitudes, and what happened? Bad things happen. Bad things. So anytime that T.I. is anywhere and somebody gets shot, he's always going to get blamed a little bit. Like, here we go again, starting trouble. Brittany writes, where's the poll again, Nate? It's on my website, nathanivey.com. It's on the right-hand side. If you are on a PC, like a desktop, if you're on your phone, or let's say you've got a handheld device of some type, just scroll down. It'll come up. You can't miss it. And if you have any issues, let me know. Gilligan of the week, hashtag ECFace, a Cleveland-based rapper that put up a YouTube video about being on the run from the law, and the video got busted, plus more evidence against him in court. Ha 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 ha! That's James. I think I got that right. ECFace, is that right, idiot? I second that if it's true. Charles writes, I agree with Brendan Edward. The young man was old enough to think for himself, and there's a Sambo born every minute? At 20 years old, you're old enough to know right from wrong. Hell, you're old enough to die in America's war. Wars. It's just, put some S's on there. America's wars. So you're old enough to know the difference. But what went wrong? Is it a peer pressure thing? Is it a lack of opportunities? Is it feeling like there's no jobs that you really want to work? Okay, because there's some jobs that some people like, I don't want to do that. Now, then you got to question them when they're talking about how they need money. But I mean, let's be honest here. There is that mentality that's out there. Is it about his son? He's got a 2-year-old. Was it about the responsibilities of taking care of his son? I mean, when you have a child, you want to be a man. You want to be able to take care of your child, as any parent does. Could it be that? Does it make a difference? If they find out that this man was shot in the back, should the officer be charged? Should the officer be charged? Let me be honest and throw that out there. Rhonda writes, no, police officers do not need any extra protection. They already have too much power if you look at them. You could get arrested or end up dead, Freddie Gray, and get away with killing someone. And if someone killed one of them, that person just committed suicide, right? I don't think that officers need any special protection. I think this Louisiana governor is grandstanding. That's it. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards. He's grandstanding. Listen, everybody knows that when an officer goes to court, that the courts rely more and give more weight to that officer's testimony than they do eyewitnesses. We already know that. We already know that if you get into a situation and you kill a police officer, you are done. You're done. If you don't get the death penalty, depending on the circumstances, you are going to be locked up for the rest of your life. I mean, they put your name on a wall, man. I'm not joking about this. You ain't never getting out. You could come up for parole in 35 years, and I guarantee there'll be somebody from the police organizations, FOP, one of these organizations that prides themselves on supporting police, and they will be there to tell people, hell no, he don't get parole. That's how serious it is. We know Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry, Blue Lives Matter. We know Blue Lives Matter. So to me, this was grandstanding. It was a symbolic gesture, but do I have a big problem with it? Not necessarily. I don't have a huge problem with it. Black lives, Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, we know that. Tracy writes, does it make a difference to anyone that the cop that killed this young man was black also? Does it make a difference to you? That's fair. Doesn't have to be a straight up black-white thing. Do black officers respond to black suspects differently? Most black people I know are going to say yes. Is it fair to bring that into the conversation? It's up to you. Kenny writes, related to the Asian clothing washing commercial, it wasn't a black man's concept for the commercial. He was just an actor. Yeah, but I mean, he's intelligent enough to know how they were portraying, using him to portray black men in general. But I get you. He's just an actor. He's just doing his job. Terrence T-Bone Walker writes, human brain is not fully developed until 26. Good point. We forget that. Oh, they're 17. Charge him as an adult. He's 15. Charge him as an adult. He knew better. He's 15. Maybe he didn't know better. Your brain is not fully developed until you get into your mid-20s. I know that to be a fact. I've read that in separate different places. So either all those places are leading me into the wrong conclusion or there's some truth to it. And that's why I give my daughter a pass. I just shake my head sometimes like, she's 11. You know, hey, you know. I call her name, Little Buddha. And she's just so caught up in what she's got going on, she doesn't hear it. Or she's got dance routines and music in her head. I mean, what kind of father would have a problem with that? She's being 11. And that's the environment that my wife and I have created for her and hopefully for our son as well, where they can just be kids. That's all you want for you as a parent. Let them be kids and we'll go out here and brave the world. Brittany writes, the police wouldn't feel they needed extra protection if they wasn't out here having trigger practice on our people. Ooh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Jared writes, good morning, hashtag Team NI, hashtag tardy to the party. Never too tardy, Jared. Listen, if you're just tuning in, do us all a favor. Go to my website, Nathan Ivey, and we are trying to determine a name for the chat room. And I've taken what I thought were some of the more popular ideas over the last few weeks, and I put a poll together. It's on my website. If you're on a desktop computer, it'll be on your right-hand side on the primary bar. If you're on your smartphone device, or let's say you've got an iPad or something like that, then just scroll down. It'll come up. It reads, what name do you prefer for the NIS chat room? NIS is an acronym for Nathan Ivey Show. Nathan Ivey Show. Last I checked, the Flow Room was running away with it. Let me see. Let me check again. Now it's neck and neck. Now it's neck and neck between the Flow Room, the Chop Shop, and the Wire. So this will be interesting. I'm going to keep it up for about 24 hours to give people a good chance to vote. Can you vote more than once? Yes, you can. I don't want you to skew the poll, but yes, you can. Absolutely. And again, Nathan Ivey, you can check it out for yourself. Also, who is your Gilligan of the week? I want to nominate the people behind this Chinese detergent commercial. I think it's absolutely reprehensible. Also, Troy Ave. He needs to be nominated. If you're not hip to Troy Ave, you can Google him. Perhaps your children know about him, or your grandchildren, or your nieces and nephews, or just kids in your community that you don't know. They know him. And I'm looking at the image of this dude raising a weapon and discharging the weapon inside the club in New York. Now, as I understand, they got some pretty strong laws. Troy Ave is about to go to jail. So if you're a Troy Ave fan, say goodbye. And one person got shot at a T.I. concert, which led a member of the New York Police Department to refer to rappers as thugs. Here we go again. These thugs out here, the thugs, maybe they're right. Or maybe they're terribly wrong. Absolutely wrong. So many things to discuss this morning. Mary from Facebook writes, I believe the family raised him right. I doubt he ever showed them this darker side of him. Let them have their memories and love for their child, but stop blaming the officer. The young man tried to commit an armed robbery. Okay. Yeah. Greg Pilar writes, that was my nephew, Nathan. He was a good kid. We are all hurting severely right now. He had a great future and was raised right by good people. Nobody knows why this happened. Please keep us in your prayers. Let me like that. And I told you, Cincinnati is a very small place. And a lot of people are offering their condolences. Greg writes, thank you. Our family is just as confused as everyone else. The boy was a great kid and raised by great, hardworking, strict, God-loving parents. Again, what makes a good kid take this, break bad, so to speak? What makes a good kid with a future break bad? Is it that money? Is that what it is? Is it straight up money? But Greg, if you're listening, man, again, let me say it in front of everybody. Condolences to you and your family. If the family ever feels like they want to get to a point where they want to speak with the media, well, I would invite you to stay, talk with us first here on the Nathan Ivey Show here at Superlative Media, and perhaps get the word out. Local media, mainstream media can sometimes be biased and skewed primarily to the CPD, which everybody knows I support the Cincinnati Police Department, even in their dance team efforts. The Running Man. But, my issue is I want to make sure we can present all sides of these issues, because I'm telling you, in most cases I found the truth is somewhere near the middle. That is true in most cases, but devastating. So there it is, a member of the family. And then some people are going to say, oh, that's a member of the family. Of course they're going to say that. They're protecting each other. So let me say it first. But that's a member of the family saying, he was brought up the right way. He was a good kid. From what I'm reading, he was a part of some successful sports teams. He could have parlayed that into a free ride in college. Currently 8:01 a.m. in the Queen City. Nathan Ivey with you. Kay writes, you're right, he didn't have to die. But when you come in a bank with a mask and a gun, what in the Sam's hell are you supposed to do? And you pull the trigger, now life is lost. Sharonda writes again, his parents are great people. and raised Terry right. No need to blame the parents. It looks like there's a lot of folks who I'm connected with on Facebook who are either family members or connected to the family in some way. And, in a moment like this, it's real easy to play holier than thou, like, hey, my son or daughter never got popped, robbed in a bank, but who knows? I got a junior right now, 15, 16 years from now, you already know I ain't on that nonsense. Who knows what this boy might be up to? Who knows? Is it nurture or is it nature? I don't know. Some tells me this young man was probably trying to keep up with the Joneses. Some's telling me that friends and peer pressure, women, all that stuff. That's an incredible, incredible draw. when you're 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, almost everything I did was about women. Almost everything I did was about women. You know, when I got my first